Pawn Stars boss Rick Harrison geeks out on Val Kilmer's Top Gun jacket and agrees to pay $17,000. In one of the most exciting and memorable episodes of Pawn Stars, Rick Harrison found himself face-to-face with a piece of cinematic history, Val Kilmer's original jacket from the 1986 blockbuster film Top Gun. Known for his sharp business acumen and no-nonsense approach to dealing with customers at the world-famous gold and silver pawn shop in Las Vegas, Rick is usually calm, collected, and focused on the bottom line. But when the legendary leather flight jacket made its way into the shop, even he couldn't hide his excitement. The episode opened like many others. Someone walks through the door carrying what they believe to be a valuable item, hoping to strike a deal with Rick and his team. In this case, it was a man claiming to have once worked as a set medic on the Top Gun movie set. He brought with him a navy blue leather bomber jacket, complete with patches, insignias, and an unmistakable aura of Hollywood glamour. As soon as the jacket hit the counter, Rick's eyes lit up. "I've been waiting for something like this my whole life," Rick said, visibly excited as he examined the jacket. "This is from Top Gun. That's a huge movie. And if this is real, it could be worth serious money." Rick's son, Corey Harrison, who often assists with research and appraisal, immediately began inspecting the jacket alongside his father. The first thing they noticed was that the jacket was clearly worn during filming. The leather had aged naturally, and there were signs of wear consistent with stunt work and long hours on set. Most importantly, the patches on the sleeves matched those worn by Val Kilmer's character, Iceman, in the film. Rick's enthusiasm was contagious. He started reminiscing about watching Top Gun as a teenager and how much of an impact the film had on a generation. "Back then, every kid wanted to be a fighter pilot," Rick said. "You saw Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer flying jets, wearing these jackets, and you thought that was the coolest thing ever." But excitement alone wasn't enough to justify a big payout. Rick knew that authenticity was key. If the jacket turned out to be a replica or costume piece used for background actors, its value would plummet. So he sent Corey off to do some digging while he kept the customer entertained and under observation. Corey reached out to experts in Hollywood memorabilia, including auction houses and collectors who specialize in film props. They confirmed that jackets like this, especially those associated with major stars, can fetch anywhere from $20,000 to over $50,000 at auction, depending on provenance and condition. However, since this wasn't going to auction, but rather being sold directly to Rick, the price would need to reflect that discount. Meanwhile, back at the pawn shop, Rick and the customer chatted about the experience of working on a major motion picture. The man shared stories about Val Kilmer, describing him as professional but reserved during filming. He claimed he received the jacket as a thank you gift from the production after helping with a minor injury on set. While such claims are hard to verify without documentation, Rick seemed to believe the man's sincerity. Still, Rick remained cautious. He knew that Hollywood memorabilia is a hop for fakes and forgeries. Even a small mistake could cost him thousands. That's why he waited patiently for Corey's findings before making any kind of offer. When Corey returned, he brought good news. The design of the jacket, the specific patches, and the style all pointed to it being worn by Val Kilmer's character. Furthermore, the expert he spoke with estimated the market value at around $25,000 to $30,000. Armed with that information, Rick sat down with a customer to negotiate. "This jacket is amazing," Rick began. "We checked it out, and everything seems to line up. It looks like it really was worn by Val Kilmer in Top Gun. That makes this a rare piece of film history." The customer smiled, clearly relieved. Rick continued, "Now we're not going to pay full retail because you're selling it to us, and we'd have to take it to auction to get top dollar. But I'm willing to offer you $17,000. The customer paused, clearly taken aback by the generous offer. He looked at the jacket one last time, nodded, and said, "You've got yourself a deal." With a handshake and a grin, the deal was sealed. Rick held up the jacket proudly, clearly thrilled to have added such a significant item to his growing collection of pop culture artifacts. Later, in a behind-the-scenes interview, Rick reflected on the sale. "I don't get emotional very often here at the shop," he admitted. "But seeing that jacket, it took me back to being a kid, dreaming about flying jets and watching my heroes on screen. This isn't just a piece of clothing. It's a piece of American culture." He also hinted that he might hold on to the jacket for a while rather than flipping it immediately. "Sometimes things like this appreciate in value over time," he said. "And sometimes you just want to keep them because they mean something to you." The sale of Val Kilmer's Top Gun jacket became one of the standout moments in Pawn Stars history, not just because of the high dollar amount, but because of the rare glimpse it gave viewers into Rick's personal passions. While he's known for his tough negotiating style and his love of classic cars and gold coins, this episode reminded fans that he's also a lifelong fan of movies and American pop culture. It also highlighted the unpredictable nature of the pawn business. You never know what's going to walk through the door next. One minute, it's a dusty guitar that turns out to be worth a fortune. The next, it's a leather jacket that carries decades of cinematic legacy. For the Pawn Stars audience, the episode was a reminder of the show's enduring appeal. It blends entertainment, education, and nostalgia into a format that keeps viewers coming back week after week. Whether it's a Civil War-era sword, a vintage comic book, or a piece of movie memorabilia, each item tells a story, and Rick and his team are always ready to listen. As the camera panned across the shelves of the pawn shop at the end of the episode, the jacket now hung in a glass display case near the front counter, drawing the attention of every passerby. It served as both a trophy and a testament to the magic of storytelling, both on screen and inside the walls of the gold and silver pawn shop. In the world of Pawn Stars, where deals are struck and legends are born, few items carry the weight of history quite like that navy blue bomber jacket. For Rick Harrison, it was more than just a purchase, it was a dream come